to the latest edition of the Campaign Doctor. Some politicians are just great public speakers. Bill Clinton, for example. Barack Obama is a politician that has really built his entire career around public speeches. And then there are mediocre speakers who at times though give great career-changing speeches. One from the history books is George Herbert Walker Bush, who in 1988 at the Republican convention really delivered a great speech, which I think was the start of his comeback in the race for the White House. And generally speaking, I think convention speeches are important. They are an important rendezvous with the electorate. Millions of people watch it live on television and even more hear about it in the news. So how did Kamala Harris do? I think she did best in terms of working out contrast with Donald Trump, in terms of drawing the lines of distinction. Here is the prosecutor who went after Donald Trump, sometimes implicitly, sometimes explicitly, but I thought in a very brutal and effective manner. But let's remember, that's not all she had to accomplish. And I think it's always good to be specific about the strategic goals you want to reach, because if you don't know what you want to accomplish, how can you assess if you were effective? So in my mind, Harris had really three goals that she had to reach with the speech. Number one, she had to reintroduce herself to the American people, because many voters really don't know much about the vice president. Number two, she had to inoculate herself against attacks that she's too liberal, which are already coming and which will be coming even more over the next weeks. And number three, she really had to claim the future. So how did she do? I think out of the three, she probably did best with the first one, reintroducing herself to the American people, because she has a biography, a life story, and a resume that are all really appealing. And she told that story in an effective manner. With respect to number two, inoculating against attacks that she's too liberal, I thought she did okay, but could probably have done better. I think she took the border issue heads on. I think that was gutsy, but probably well done. She made a strong appeal to the middle class, which I think is always good for Democrats. But I thought on domestic policy, she left herself a little bit vulnerable there. With number three, claiming the future, I also think she did okay. Remember, she's part of a rather actually unpopular administration, and while paying respect to Joe Biden, she made it very clear that this is a new generation and a new face that is taking over. I think it was a very patriotic speech, but still, I think while she made it clear that we don't want to go back, I wish she would have been more forceful about where we're really headed. Overall, I think it was a pretty good speech. I would rate it 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching.